Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm visible to everyone. So this is our first live class, and I welcome everyone to our live classes. So good evening, everyone who have joined now. Okay, just hopefully many more to join. Anyways, let them join, and I'll just discuss for what is the motive of the live class. See, the reason behind joining this is we know that exams are very near, probably a month for the exams, that's it. So, what we'll do in the live classes here is, we will take the important topics as I have mentioned earlier. I have mentioned 5 important topics from the botany side. We'll first complete the botany side and then we'll go to the zoology. And these topics which I have mentioned yesterday, these are the topics which have got high weightage. High weightage means more marks from the particular topic. For example, we have taken the molecular basis of inheritance, sexual reproduction in flowering plants, genetics topics, that is principles of inheritance and variations, then biotechnology principles and processes, as well as biotechnology and its applications. These are the 5 topics which I have chosen from the botany side. We'll first complete this. And out of these, every year when you see the previous year question papers, we'll be able to analyze few questions which are highly expected, isn't it? So like from a particular chapter, for a day or for today, we'll take the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Easily we can identify which are the 5 marks questions or which are the short questions which can be asked from that particular chapter. At the same time, which are the 3 marks questions, again which are the 2 marks as well as 1 mark questions. And now, see, what has happened is, I hope there is no problem in the video. If there is any problem getting faced in the video, then text me. I'll look after it. So, we'll continue again. See, the motive is how to write that particular answer, the proper way of presenting an answer. For example, one highly expected question from the topic sexual reproduction in the flowering plants. Okay, the question is, explain the TS of the anther. Every student knows how to write the answer, how to answer that particular question. But what is important here is the pattern has changed now. This year, the PUC board has changed the pattern and they have mentioned it properly that for the 5 marks, you are supposed to write around 200 to 250 words, which is a very big task, isn't it? So, how to answer it in 200 to 250 words? Now, that is what I'm going to tell you in the video. Fine. See, not only that particular topic, I have made a list of questions. All the 5 marks questions. It's a challenge, guys. If you just read the questions which I've given, that will cover the complete chapter. The sexual reproduction in flowering plants as well as molecular basis of inheritance. These 2 topics I'll be uploading today. By the end of the video, I'll upload the PDF there. You can find the description for the PDF in the link box below. So, what we shall do is, I'll just give the presentation way. For example, I have made a set of questions here and which I'll be uploading in the PDF format also. So here I have taken around 9 5 marks questions. These are the 9 5 marks questions which are being asked in the previous year question papers, as well as these can be asked. I mean, there are few or 2 questions. There are probability of asking these 2 newly framed questions as well as all these previously asked questions. You might be knowing this, but still again there are some questions which may miss out. So those questions also carefully I have included them. So don't miss a single questions from this. So sexual reproduction in flowering plants, there are 9 5 marks questions and there are around 5 3 marks questions and there are 5 2 marks questions and there are 8 1 mark questions. Now 1 mark question, we know that the pattern has changed. For 1 mark question, now you can expect it in the form of the MCQ or you can expect it in the form of a fill in the blank, isn't it? However, most widely repeated questions I've taken here. Remaining questions or remaining expected, like probable fill in the blanks or the probable MCQs, that is being covered in these 5 marks as well as in the 3 marks question. So in this, I'll just take an example of the first question, that is, explain the structure of TS of anther with neat label diagram. So TS of anther, when they ask it, how do you write it usually? We know that we start the answer just writing it as, so NCRT again, okay, strictly focusing on the NCRT only. Fine. We'll just write the question first. TS of anther. Guys, one more suggestion. Don't ever divert from the diagrams which are given in the NCRT. Strictly follow the diagrams which are there in the NCRT. Don't divert. There might be many sources to see the diagrams, but as well as the namings, labelings, but whatever is there in the NCRT, just stick on to that particular diagram and the labeling, because of course the other sources may give you much more beautiful diagrams and more labelings. If you want, you can add the labelings, but you should not decrease the labelings or you should not miss any labelings which are there in the NCRT. So how do you write answer? And remember, 200 to 250 words. 200 to 250 words, it is almost like you will have to write at least 1.5 page in the answer sheet which has been given. So what is the content now? How to present it? So first one is, write it as the male reproductive structure. Okay, let me write the topic first. TS of anther. I hope this is not visible, right? So TS of anther. Now, what is the first point? The male reproductive structure. Okay, the male reproductive structure of a flower is stamen. The first point. The male reproductive structure of the flower is a stamen. Now, what are the parts which are present in the stamen? The parts of the stamen, there are 2 parts in the stamen, that is, one is an anther, another one is a filament. Second point. So when you write this anther and filament, just show what is a anther and what is a filament. See, writing it this way will really fetch a good impression on whoever is correcting your paper. Writing a content simply in the point format is different, and presenting it in a beautiful way is very important. And biology is all about the presentation. There are no formulas, there won't be any calculations, nothing, right? So it is all about how you present a particular answer. The content which you are writing and the content which the next person is writing might be same, but how exactly it is getting presented in the paper and how beautifully it is catching the eyes of the person who is correcting is very important, and this is what you have to practice at the moment of the examination. This is the right time to practice it. So anyways, whatever answer I have written here, see, this is the one which I have written here. See, this is the answers. This is how you have to present. Anyways, I'll again post this in the form of the PDF also. Every question you will be getting it in the form of the PDF. So this is how you have to present. See, what I've written here, the first point is the male reproductive structure of the flower is stamen. Then the second one is there are 2 parts in a stamen, that is anther and filament. See, not a big deal to show it, right? Anther and the filament, just mark it. So it looks very neat. And then next, anther is bilobed. Next is anther is bilobed, and each lobe has got 2 theca. And each lobe has 2 theca. Hence it is called as dithecous anther. So this is the next point. So we are done with the 3 points. So now the next point is each lobe has 2 microsporangia. Hence it is, see, one lobe, there are 2 lobes here. It is bilobed. So one lobe has got 2 microsporangia. Hence, one more is again having 2. So, totally there are 4 microsporangias. It means that it is a tetramicrosporangiate structure, isn't it? We have studied that it is a tetramicrosporangiate structure. But how do you frame it in a form of a sentence? That is important. So, each lobe has 2 microsporangia and hence it is a tetrasporangiate. Then, next point. Each microsporangia, it is now further developing the pollen sacs. Every microsporangia, it is now developing the pollen sacs. This will be the next point. Then, finally, now a structure of a microsporangia. That is the 6th point. A microsporangia is surrounded by 4 walls, and the 4 walls are, we know it is epidermis, endothecium, middle layers and the tapetum. Just one sentence about each layer. For example, see, again, here is the epidermis. Outer single layer of flat cells, endothecium, single layer of cells with callose thickenings, then middle layers, usually 3 to 4 layers, then tapetum, single layer with uni or bi or multinucleate cells which have got the dense cytoplasm. Then we are done with these 4 walls. Next is the functions of these 4 anther walls, which is very, very important. See, when you write it in this way, you are covering each and every information which has to be given about the TS of the anther. See, functions of the anther walls. One is a combined function of the 3 layers, that is the epidermis, endothecium and the middle layers. So here it is, the outer 3 walls layers perform the function of protection and help in the dehiscence of the anther to release the pollen. Then functions of the tapetum separately. What are the functions of the tapetum? It nourishes the developing pollen grain. It secretes the callase enzyme. Then it produces the Ubish bodies. It is helps in the formation of the sporopollenin as well as it helps in the formation of the pollen kit. So these are the functions of the tapetum. So after writing all this information, then you have to go for the diagram which is being given in the NCERT. Okay, see, in the NCERT there are again 2 diagrams which are being given. One is a dehiscence of the anther and another one, dehiscence of a mature anther. Another one is the TS of the young anther. So you should always write the TS of the anther, not the mature dehiscence anther. So this is how you are supposed to present a answer for a given or for a asked question. So now, see, this one question which I have taken, this is just an example to how to write a particular or how to present a particular answer. What is important, what is the motive of the video is, see, hence onwards, the next live videos will be in the PPT form where you will be able to find all the answers which is handwritten. I'm writing it on my own with very neat label diagrams. I'll write it and then I'll make it in the form of the PPT and we'll be discussing answers along with the explanation, how exactly you should write it. So all the 5 topics will be covered. Firstly, that is, we'll just take any one particular day, we'll choose it. So this particular video is just to inform that we'll be solving all these 5 chapters. That is the biotechnology 2 chapters, genetics, okay, biotechnology 2 chapters, genetics, and then molecular basis of inheritance, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. And firstly, we'll start with the sexual reproduction in the flowering plants and molecular basis of the inheritance. That is because these are the 2 topics where you can actually write the answers without mistakes. There will be no confusions in the questions at all. So we'll just pick up these two, and if you just take up these 5 topics, then you can actually answer more than 43 marks out of 70 marks. See, again there is a trick. Just 5 chapters, you know how many chapters we have for our syllabus. Just 5 chapters of botany is giving you around 43 marks, which is like sure shot. Okay, 43 out of 70, not out of 100. Again, 5 important topics from the zoology side, again that will give you more than 40. So just by picking these important topics only, you can actually try scoring 70 out of 70. Given you just have to concentrate on the MCQs and the fill in the blanks. So fill in the blanks is not a big deal because answers will be given above, as we have already discussed in the previous one of the previous videos. So MCQs, major MCQs will be from these 5 botany topics and 5 zoology topics. So not a big deal again. So 10 you can easily solve. So my suggestion is, whatever questions I'll be framing, see, even from the molecular basis of inheritance. Let me tell you the molecular basis of inheritance also. So here for this chapter, I have made a list of around 12 5 marks questions. Guys, 12 5 marks questions. I mean, leaving these 12, it's a challenge. There won't be any other 5 marks question. There are no possibilities of any other 5 marks question. So only these 12 can be asked. If you want, I'll just read out the questions for you. First one is the salient features of the double helix DNA, or otherwise they can also ask it in the form of the Watson and Crick model. Then the next one is a nucleosome model of DNA, or the packaging of the DNA. Then the Griffith experiment, third one. Hershey-Chase experiment, fourth one. Then Michelson and Stahl experiment, fifth one. Then replication, that is the semi-conservative mode of replication process, the sixth one. Then transcription, seventh one. Salient features of genetic code, eighth one. Process of translation, ninth one. Then Lac-Operon, one of the most beautiful concepts in the chapter, is and sure shot again. Most repeated question in that particular chapter, Lac-Operon. How to write the Lac-Operon beautifully without losing a single, not a single, even half mark should not be lost in that Lac-Operon. So how to present the Lac-Operon the most easiest way and beautiful way without losing any single mark, I'll just teach it. Okay. Then salient features of human genome project, 11th question, and finally the DNA fingerprinting technique. So 12 questions, 12 5 marks questions. If you read these 12 5 marks question, it will also cover most of the 3 marks as well as the 2 marks question. So just leaving these topics, whatever other topics are left, from that I have taken 3 marks and 2 marks. So here there is a list of a few 3 marks questions, that is goal of HGP, and note on tRNA, which is an adapter molecule, with that beautiful small diagram given in the NCERT. Then draw the transcription unit and explain. Then explain eukaryotic RNA polymerase with functions. Then write a note on post-transcriptional modification. This is not asked much. Only once or twice they have asked this post-transcriptional modifications. Some directly in the form of 3 marks and sometimes in the form of 2 marks. So there are chances that they may ask this post-transcriptional modification. Then criteria for the molecule to act as genetic material, and explain the biochemical characterization of the transforming principle. So these are the 3 marks. Coming to the 2 marks, we have why DNA is better genetic material than RNA. Justify the statement. Then AUG codon has dual function. Justify. What is capping and tailing? What is RNA splicing? What is point mutation? Explain with example. What are frame shift mutations? And what is DNA polymorphism? Okay, there was a problem in the video. Since this is our first live class, we are just facing some difficulties. So just bear with us. So I think I'll have to repeat the 2 marks once again. So it is why DNA is a better genetic material than RNA. Justify the statement. Then AUG codon has dual functions. Justified. Then what is capping and tailing? What is RNA splicing? Then what is point mutation? Explain with the example. What are frame shift mutations and what is DNA polymorphism? So these are the 2 marks. However, 1 mark question, what I've done is I have made the 1 mark questions in the form of single words or in the form of the fill in the blanks. Anyways, when we take up the PPT explanations or PowerPoint explanations, so there we'll just go through these 1 mark questions also. So this is how I've made the list of the questions from every chapter, and at the same time I have also written the answers for every question this way. These are my handwritten notes, exactly like 5 marks questions. So these I'll be converting these into the PDF, and these same answers which are handwritten only we will discuss in the form of the PowerPoint presentation, so that if there are any queries, you can discuss it in the board, but when you write it in the 5 mark in a form of a 5 marks answer, it is not enough to explain, the space is not enough to explain. Hence, what we'll do is, we'll just convert these in the form of the PDFs, and we'll take up the PowerPoint presentation. So, this is just my effort to inform you all that since it is a high time now, and there's only around 1 month left for the examination, hardly 1 month, I guess. So, just within 1 month, probably 2 weeks for botany and 2 weeks for zoology, we'll take it this way, and just in the 4 weeks we'll complete all the 10 chapters, 5 important weightage chapters, 5 chapters which have got high weightage in the botany and 5 chapters which have high weightage from the zoology side. So we'll take up the 10 chapters and we'll complete, so that you should not be able to miss even a single 3 marks, 5 marks and 2 marks question. 1 mark, there's no problem guys, easily you can crack 1 marks question, not a problem at all. Again, of course, there's quite a risk when it comes to MCQs. Fill in the blanks is not a deal, but MCQs, again, you'll have to be quite cautious for the MCQs. But 5 marks question is a big problem, and many a times 3 marks question. You won't be expecting what kind of 3 marks question can be framed. So I've tried all the possibilities in that particular chapter, and I've framed it in the form of the question, and we'll just discuss the answers for that. So why I'm just handwriting it is, if you go on making the notes, it will actually consume a lot of time. So it is now high time, and I think you should be saving enough time for the practice. So I'm just making the notes. I'm just giving you the handwritten notes. So take the notes. Anyways, PDF will also be uploaded as if we discuss the particular chapter. At the same time, along with the PDF, you will be having a PowerPoint also, which is again my handwritten answers only. So you can just take that ready-made material and present it as it is. Okay. So very soon I'll just upload the day and the timing where I'll be starting the sexual reproduction in flowering plants, as well as molecular basis of inheritance. Both will do it on the same day only. I'll come up with the questions as well as the answers. Okay. I hope this will be helpful for you guys. And if you want any changes in it, just text me and inform me. We can do it as it is required or feasible it is. Okay. And very soon, like probably by tonight or tomorrow morning, I'll inform what will be the timings as well as what will be the day of the next video. Okay guys, thank you. So whoever has joined, and okay, there are many who have joined here. Happy to see everyone. Okay, that's really nice. Okay, thank you everyone for joining, and let's again complete motive of these videos a good success, and will take the more maximum benefits of what efforts we are putting here. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Of course, at the same time, I'll also be uploading those classes, those recorded classes which I'm going through. That is, one is molecular basis of inheritance as well as cell the unit of life. That will also be uploaded side by. Along with that,